Blitz.
Hello everyone, this is Mike with Bet Blitz. Welcome back to your source for daily sports picks. Today is a new day and we're looking to set you up with a few of some of the best picks on PrizePicks. Please take a moment to hit the like button. We do have a like goal for this video, and if this video gets above 200 likes, we will be dropping a bonus pick in our next video. If you're new to the channel, take a moment to subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that you can have early access to our picks as soon as we post and before the lines get bumped. Also, at the end of this video, let us know which of these picks you will be taking, as well as the ones you won't, or any other lines that you think have a great chance of hitting. Also, if you like the picks in this video and want access to even more picks, check the link in our description below to join our Discord, where we drop even more picks every single day. Alright, let's get right into some of the best picks for today. So for our first pick, we'll be headed over to the points plus assists tab, and we'll be selecting Caitlyn Clark for less than 23 points plus assists. Taking a quick look here on Outlier, and by the way, if you'd like to try Outlier yourself, use our link in the description below for a free 7-day trial. You see that Caitlyn Clark has actually fallen below this line in 6 of her last 10 games. And in the games where she did go over, it was mostly in times where she played excessive minutes, a lot more than usual, in the high 30s, low 40 minutes per game that she actually did exceed this line. Now, Caitlyn Clark and the Indiana Fever will be facing off against an Atlanta Dream team that has been pretty average defensively at the start of this WNBA season. Currently, they are ranked 5th in points allowed to their opponents, giving up just under 80 points per game, as well as ranked 9th in assists allowed to their opponents, giving up just under 21 points per game. And for those of you who aren't too familiar with the WNBA, they do have 12 teams, so these are pretty average and below average rankings defensively. Taking a quick look here at her minutes, we see that Caitlyn Clark is getting a pretty solid dose of minutes over her last 10 games, averaging near 33 minutes per game. However, again, her high minute totals haven't really been translating to high scoring and assist outputs for Clark, unless she has a very high minutes close to the 40-minute mark, and that she's actually exceeded this line. Taking a quick look here at some of her recent games, we see that she hasn't really been a huge scorer for the Indiana Fever. Again, with the exception of this game here, she did score 30, but it was near 40 minutes she did play in that game. But for the majority of these games, she's not been much of a great scorer, although she has been a pretty good playmaker for the Indiana Fever. Now, we also want to point out that this game will be played at home for the Indiana Fever on national television. So some of you may be expecting Clark to go off with the national spotlight on her. However, we expect her opponents to be very aggressive with her and try to limit her from shining too much in this game. So for all these reasons, again, we'll be taking Caitlyn Clark for less than 23 points plus assists. For our next pick, we'll be headed over to the points tab, and we'll be selecting Taurasi for less than 15 points. Taking a quick look here on Outlier, we see that Taurasi has actually fallen below this line in 6 of her last 10 games. In her last game, she did go over this line by 5 points. However, we do want to point out it was in a double overtime game in which she played nearly 40 minutes, so she had an extended opportunity to reach the line. Now, Taurasi and the Phoenix Mercury will be facing off against a Las Vegas Aces team that has not been very good defensively this season. Currently ranked 8th in points allowed to their opponents, giving up nearly 84 points per game to their opponents. Some of you guys may be looking at taking Taurasi's over because of this. Poor defense by the Las Vegas Aces. However, we'll show you a bit later as to why we are looking at her under for this. Now, taking a quick look here at her minutes, we see that Taurasi is playing a solid dose of minutes over her last 10 games, averaging near 29.5 minutes per game. Again, in her last game, she did go to a double overtime game, played near 40 minutes, which is bumping up her total average over her last 10 games. However, even with her solid playing time, again, she has not necessarily translated this into more points. Taking a closer look into her last few games, you see that Taurasi hasn't really exceeded this line too often in her 2024 regular season. She has a few outlier games in which she has exceeded this line, but for the most part, she has stayed under it. We also do want to point out, again, that her field goal shooting has been slightly shaky, especially of late, shooting pretty awfully from the field. Multiple games under 40% field goal shooting, as well as a couple here in the low 20s. And as of late, her three-point shooting hasn't really been in a good place either. So for all these reasons, again, we'll be taking Taurasi for less than 15 points. Now, we want to share with you a sports betting tool that is going to take your game to the next level. Daily Grinds Fantasy Optimizer is one of the most comprehensive sports betting tools available. And it's not just prize picks. It'll actually show you line discrepancies across all the major sports betting books, such as FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, and much more. So you'll be able to see where you're getting the best buck or return for your dollar. One of its best features is its ability to provide you with a multi-leg parlay. So, for example, if you want to find out what the best 6-pick flex was on PrizePicks, you can simply click right here and have it generate for you a list of the 6 best correlated picks most likely to hit together, and also tell you the odds of them hitting as well. And best of all, it runs on a live, up-to-date system. So if it's on PrizePicks, if it's on any of the other major sports betting books, it'll be here live as well. So again, if you're looking to take your sports betting to the next level, click our link in the description below and use code BLITZ. Again, that's code BLITZ for 25% off all your orders. For our next pick, we'll actually be in the WNBA first half section under the points tab, and we'll be selecting Asia Wilson for less than 13.5 first half points. Taking a quick look here on Outlier. Again, if you'd like to try them out yourself, use our link in the description below for a free 7-day trial. You see that Asia Wilson has actually fallen below this line in 7 of her last 10 first halves. Additionally, Wilson has fallen below this line in 60% of her last 20 first halves. Now, Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces will be facing off against a Phoenix Mercury team that during this season has not been very good defensively, ranked 10th in points allowed, giving up just under 84.5 points per game to their position. And again, this is out of 12 WNBA teams, so they are not very good defensively. However, we still do want to point out that Asia Wilson has fallen below this line in 7 of her last 9 games. Now, taking a quick look here at her minutes during the first half, you see that Asia Wilson is getting a solid dose of minutes, slightly higher than we like to see it to take her under. However, again, it has not necessarily been translating to her scoring during the first half. Again, in 7 of her last 9 first halves, she has fallen below this line. Now, Asia Wilson has been a pretty phenomenal scorer this season, scoring just under 30 points in most of her games. However, a lot of her scoring has been during second half and in games where she has a lot of high scoring outputs. It is mostly in games that are close, where she has to end up playing minutes into the high 30s. And we also do want to point out that in her last game versus the Phoenix Mercury this season, she did play 32 minutes, but finished the game with just 21 points. Again, most of her points coming in the latter half. So for all these reasons, again, we'll be taking Asia Wilson for less than 13.5 first half points. All right, these are our picks for today. And after we finish reviewing, let us know down in the comment section which of these picks you will be taking, as well as the ones you won't, or any other lines that you think have a great chance of hitting. So for our picks today, we took Caitlyn Clark for less than 23 points plus assists. Now we took Taurasi for less than 15 points. And finally, we took Asia Wilson for less than 13.5 first half points. Now, we're not saying to take all these picks and throw them all in together into a huge parlay, but overall, these picks, they could be some useful additions to the individual overall entries that you have in mind. And again, if you like our picks in this video and want access to even more picks, check out our Discord link through the description below, where we drop even more picks every single day. If you're new to the channel, take a moment to subscribe and turn on your push notifications so that you can have early access to our picks as soon as we post and before the lines get bumped. We thank you guys for watching. We thank you all for your recent support, and we'll see you in the next video.